I'm so excited to speak with you about the Bikeriders. So I wanted to ask, so since you've had such a long, incredible history in film and TV, when Jeff Nichols casted you, was he familiar with your work, and did he encourage you to bring any of your other roles into Funny Sonny?
No, I was shooting Daryl Dixon in Paris, and I was at Cannes sitting next to him at a dinner. And we started talking, and he said, I have a movie, I have this role. You want to play this movie in this role in this movie? And I said, yeah. I said, what is it? And he goes, it's a film called The Bikeriders. And I was like, wait, the Danny Lyons photo book? And he said, you know that? And I'm like, yeah, I got a couple of photos in my house. I have a signed Danny book of that book. Uh, and so we started talking about it, and then he sent me the script, and who was playing what roles. And I was like, dude, you got a lot of good looking guys in this movie. Do you mind if I try something else and go in a different direction? And he was like, yeah, go for it. So I had Greg Nicotero and the special effects team in France for Walking Dead make the teeth. And then I would bounce back and forth from Paris to Ohio, trying to get used to the teeth. And that's how it started, basically.
Interesting. So were you working on the Bikeriders and Walking Dead at the same time?
Yeah, same time.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
And
Yeah.
Death Stranding at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you were really booked then. That's incredible.
Two other things, yeah. But I was shooting both those at the same time.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. And how much were you allowed to like sort of improvise and come up with your own ideas for this character?
Jeff, he lets all the actors find their own sort of voice. He's he's very collaborative with all of the actors. How, can I try this? Can I try that? He's down for it. He's very easy to work with, and you feel like you're in good hands. Like you trust him. Like you want to. He's got that thing where you want to please him because you like him. You know what I mean? And you feel safe with him. So we all got to do that.
Yeah, no, of course. So I would love to hear a little bit more about the methodology that Jeff Nichols had like on set when it came to directing actors like yourself, and what made it different from some of the other directors that you've worked with before.
Some directors are like, say it this way. I wrote it this way. It's got to be this way. And Jeff's adaptive. He feels the room. He can sense things. There was we did press yesterday, and they asked Jodie and Austin and Jeff and I what your favorite scene was, and everybody said the campfire scene. And then Jeff said, it's interesting that everybody picked that scene, especially for Norman, because after Michael Shannon gave his speech, Norman came up to me and he said, can I change this? Because I love the way that he just did that. And I think that means like Sonny's listening to that going, man, he's just like me. He's exactly like me. Like he's kind of a screw up, and people look at him like that. Like they look at me like that. And I always thought that Sonny was coming up from California, uh, was like a punishment. Like the guys in California are like, you screwed up. You're going to go do it. So he was like, oh, I hate you guys. And he's riding cross country. Think about how much you can't stand him. And why do I have to drive all the way out of here with my butt hurts on this bike, and I'm hungry and I want a nap. And, it's a long ride, you know what I'm saying? So when he gets there, that speech that Michael gives makes him go, oh man, these guys are just like me. I'm going to hang out with you guys for a while. They'll never know back there. They'll never know I'm hanging out with you instead. Let's party or whatever. And Jeff brought it up in the interview, and he said, that the way Michael did that affected Norman, and Norman came to me and said, "Can I change stuff?" And he let me. So he's really easy to work with, and he's for all the right reasons. You kind of find it together under his guidance, and he lets you own it a little. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely see that. And are there any moments where, anything else that you can think of where you feel like you were able to bring a bit of yourself into this character and really reveal a little bit about him, maybe without dialogue or just simply just by the actions that you were able to portray?
Well, the teeth I brought in right away, right? The
I love.
wardrobe we worked on together. Uh, the bike was really hard to ride because it had a rubber ducky on top of the suicide shift, and so I couldn't hold the rubber ducky without breaking it off. So I used my two little fingers under it, and I'm trying to thread it and get it in gear with just the tips of my two little fingers. And then right before he says go, I borrowed those glasses, and they were prescription, and I didn't know it until I took off. And so there was like little things that are all lots of me in there, you know. But on the other end of that, I'm shooting Daryl Dixon in France at the same time. And I didn't want to look like Daryl Dixon, dirty biker guy over there, because I already looked like dirty Daryl Dixon, biker guy over there. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to be Daryl makes a cameo in the movie. I wanted to find something different, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of, I mean, I think audiences everywhere are so excited to see more of you in season 2 of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. So, is there a release date or anything else that you can tell us about this season that can get people even more excited to see it?
It's coming out in August, right? Season 2? No? When?
Not yet. Coming soon.
Oh, coming soon. I'm not supposed to say. So
Oh, okay.
coming, I think they're moving the date around. So I'm not sure, but it is coming at some point.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, what do you think is going to be like the biggest thing that separates season 2 from season 1? Is there anything that like you're particularly excited for people to see?
Well, Melissa joins full force in season 2. And I've said it in interviews before, the finale of season 2, I think, is the best 1 hour of Walking Dead anything ever. Like ever. All of it. Yeah. It's
That's
sort of mind-blowing. Yeah.
That is a high bar to say, especially with this incredible legacy.
Yeah.
Now, one more, I wanted to ask about another upcoming project of yours. I think a lot of people are also really excited to see, which is the Boondock Saints 3. So, is there anything else that you can share about the current status of that movie as well?
Just that it's happening and it's going to be bigger. Yeah. It's you know, it's the group that did the John Wick stuff, so they're making a big thing of it. Yeah.
No,
And the opening scene of it, I think they're keeping the original script idea, which is awesome. You know, so there's
wow.
obviously that we have to break out of jail. We're in jail, you know.
No,
So
of course.
we've been in
Well, I
jail for a
love
long
that.
time. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me about this, Norman, and
Yeah.
congratulations again on the Bikeriders. Thank you.